Do you think if you ask most men, they would say that a woman needs to have a perfect body in order for them to date them?
I know a lot of people that like.
Can you speak closer to the
I
mic,
know a lot of
please?
people that feel that way.
What if he has the perfect body? Is he allowed to have that preference, or is that only for the men who are out of shape?
I feel like
Because I would argue a man with like a really nice body can be allowed to prefer women with nice bodies.
Do you think it's okay for women to have height preferences?
I feel like it just depends, but I just feel like it's just unfair for either way.
What's unfair? What's unfair?
Consciously?
What?
No, that's a bit
Stop. What's unfair?
For a guy to just like a girl to have. I mean, I guess that just goes for hookups mostly.
I mean, what does it matter if it's for a hookup or for a relationship?
I just feel like that's.
Is it? Okay. Is it? Do you think it's unfair for a guy to care about a woman's physical appearance?
I mean, I think it's unfair for them to only care about the physical appearance.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you think men only care about women's physical appearance? No. But do you think a majority of men only care about a woman's physical appearance?
No.
Okay. I didn't mean to like push you into a position that, because your previous point was you think it's unfair for men to want women to desire a perfect body.
What was the original question?
Is there any preference or standard that men have that you feel is like unfair or that you disagree with, or maybe it's
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so I
you
mean,
think
I'm
it's
just
unfair
saying-
when they have that, but you're not saying that all men have that preference?
I'm just saying that
So-
it's unfair that when they're like, oh, I just want like that to be one of their preferences, like, oh, they have to have
So
like
your
the perfect
answer
body.
doesn't really answer his question, because he's asking preferences that men generally tend to have.
Generally?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then,
yeah, that doesn't answer your question.
I thought what
Okay.
she was saying is that if a man has like unrealistic body standards for his girlfriend,
Right.
that is superficial and not attractive to her.
That's what I said.
Like if you're expecting your girl to look like a Victoria's Secret model before you'll even like consider dating her, that she's saying that's pretty superficial.
I would argue though that most men don't expect to date women who are on par with Victoria's Secret
No,
models.
probably not.
Right.
I think most
she's
men
just
probably
saying
just want
if
like
they
I'm just saying
average
yeah.
physical fitness.
Not every single
thin.
guy.
okay.
But
cool.
on that note, though, what I would say is that actually women are far pickier when it comes to physical looks than men are.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
In what ways?
I disagree. I mean, speaking for myself personally, I'm not saying it's a fact.
Please speak into the microphones, guys, if you're going to talk. Okay. I would say that when it comes to things that are outside of either gender's control, women care about far more things than the reverse. There are far more things when it comes to just purely physically speaking that women care about versus men. A lot of the things that make women physically attractive, that men find physically attractive, are in your control. The only exception would be like breast size. There's no way to really,
Breast augmentation.
yeah, but I think like when you're without surgical intervention, but I don't want to advocate for surgical intervention because I'm against it. But of the things that are in your control that the vast majority of men will find attractive, a lot of that you have, oh my God, bro. You do have in control. So,
Well, I think she was saying with like how common plastic surgery is and how it's like trendy for a lot of celebrities and models to have things like breast augmentations.
most men don't find that attractive.
I think she was just saying if men adopt the preference of like wanting women who have lip fillers, who want women who have Botox, who have breast augmentations, that at that point these are unrealistic and like very demanding standards, because the average woman shouldn't have to get surgical intervention to be seen as like attractive to men.
No, bring that back.
You guys probably agree on that.
On what? Sorry, I was...
That the average woman shouldn't have to conform to a societal standard of beauty that has to include surgical intervention or like cosmetic like enhancement, like fillers, Botox, breast augmentations, to live up to like a beauty standard, that like men's beauty standard should not be including things like that.
It's not even men's beauty standard. women see other women doing that shit. Most men think lip fillers look fucking ridiculous.
I'm just saying,
Yet
like-
women see that shit and think, oh, okay, let me go inject this bullshit into my lips so I look like a fucking duck. No, dude. If you ask most men, go ask most men on the street, they don't like lip fillers, they don't like BBLs, they don't like lipo, they don't like fake tits.
But I think I agree with you because I don't.
And
think
I don't.
I beg to differ.
big
though.
labias matter.
Big
Right.
labias matter. Don't get fucking labiaplasty.
True. Okay. I think like I agree with you
Okay,
that
you've
most
talked enough. Shut up. There are far more things that women care about when it comes to physical looks compared to the reverse. For example, women care about height, women care about penis size, women care about men's physical size, way more, balding, all these things, right? A lot of these things are out of men's control. The only, whereas
That's not
women
right
just
either.
huh?
I don't think that's right either. I'm saying for both ways. Like, I'm just saying I feel like that's
Right,
not right.
but like most women say they want to date a guy who's like 6 foot tall. That's
No.
like 10 to, yes.
No,
Yes.
that's not true.
I'm not
The
saying
vast, the vast
I've
majority
had,
of women
I don't
are.
care. Vast majority, okay. I guess I fall in that.
Yes, but
one.
with you cannot accept when I use these terms majority. You seem like you always want to argue the exception.
because you make broad generalizations about women's preferences,
Do you-
and then we
do you
try to
think
make
do you
broad
think it's a
generalizations about
wrong-
male preferences, and you push back on it.
But okay, but specifically on height, do you think it's a unfair broad generalization that generally speaking, women have a strong preference for tall men?
You're not just stating that fact, though. You're saying that preference is bad.
I
Right?
didn't say that.
Do you think that?
What do you mean?
Do you think women having a height preference for men is toxic?
It's not whether I think it's bad or not. I simply accept that it is. I accept
You can make
that.
but
Yeah,
I'm
but
asking
I
you to
accept-
make a judgment. Do you think it's
I
good
don't know.
or
I
not?
don't, because I think there's probably to some degree there's a biological basis for women being attracted to large men, tall men, because they're more capable of protecting women. There's an evolutionary reason, biological reason for women to be attracted
Okay,
to
I've
that.
heard of that.
Yeah. So now, however, do I think it gets into delusional territory when, for example, a woman who's 5 foot demands like a guy who's 6'3"? I think that's like a little it can get into delusional territory. But I accept that women are attracted to tall men.
I don't accept that. I think it's not good.
Well,
I think it's not good for women
well,
to have unrealistic height standards.
Sure. I mean, and I think women are not beholden to these base biological instincts to date really tall men. But the reality is that generally speaking, most women would prefer to date a guy who's taller.
Well, the 5'2" girl only exists because her father isn't over 6 foot, right? So there are obviously
Short kings
the
are getting
short
married.
women exist because women reproduce with guys who are short. So
Sure, but generally speaking, women care quite a lot about height. So,
I only really care if he's taller than me.
okay, that's fine. And that's a
feel
lot
like
of
most
that's a
girls would
lot
say
of
that.
women. A lot of women will say that they, as long as the guy's taller than me. But there's also a lot of women who will say, I want a guy who's X height, 5'10", 6 feet. Like,
When it comes to unrealistic standards, I think it's just like you come up with this standard so that you can protect yourself from being rejected. Like, oh, I didn't want them anyways.
Sure.
They didn't fit my unrealistic standard.
okay, do you have anything on this question?
About the whole
On preferences that you.
I think it, like I said, it just depends on your partner. I know a lot of people that are actually married, and to where the man's, he brings in the money, and then the woman, stays home, cooks, cleans, and stuff like that. I have a brother that is a stay-at-home dad, so, and then his wife works. So it just depends on your partner, to be honest. And yeah.
Okay.